Hello everyone, this is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today our guest is undefeated middleweight prospect Jordan O'Neill. Hello Jordan, how are you?
Hey mate, thank you.
Jordan, so far you have an unbelievable career because you are beating everybody as the pro fighter, and in May you actually made your Cage Warriors debut. You finished your opponent quite quickly. So if you can tell me how sweet was the fight and the finish?
Yes, of course, of course. It's always good to get them out of there quick. Although it's easy to say now after getting the quick finish, but I would like a wee bit more time on there. I was just enjoying it too much, to be honest. They've finally been on the big show, the big cage, the atmosphere and stuff. Just felt really at home there. So I'm looking forward to getting out again as soon as possible.
And do you have more fights on the Cage Warriors contract?
I had a few niggly injuries there over the last month or two, so been nursing them, but they're all good now. So it'll probably be in the new year, hopefully. We get a good run next year. String maybe 2 or 3 fights together as quick as possible.
And do you have a opponent in mind that you would like to face?
Whatever Cage Warriors comes up with, my coaches, whatever they say, I'll listen to them and go with that. Everybody knows I'll fight anybody at any time, so that's never been the problem. It's just getting the fights to line up and work out at the right time. So whatever comes, whatever one comes first, I don't mind.
And your last opponent actually was a solid fighter, but even in your first fight, you fought against Joe Ambler, who had a very good amateur career. It was like a little bit prospect against prospect fight. You won the
Yeah.
fight by guillotine choke. And did you feel that you have this guillotine? Because sometimes it's risky to go for it.
Yes, yes. Yeah, Joe's a great fighter too. Also fighting in Cage Wars as well. I was glad to get that fight. I like to test myself against the best, and he was on a good run there at amateur, turned pro. So yeah, I just felt it was on. I knew that he didn't want to stand too much longer. To be honest, I cracked him a few, and he didn't really like the feel of them. I don't think so. He shot on a wee bit drastically and a wee bit sort of out of panic, and I could feel the choke was on. So, and I'm confident enough in my ground game as well, so that I didn't mind if I went to the back. If I was on my back, it didn't really bother me too much anyway. So I was happy enough to jump on it, and thank God it was on.
So we know that you can finish the fights quite quickly, but also your second bout, it was against Charles Joyner, and you fought for 15 minutes. And I think that it also is a really big win, especially for your second pro fight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Charles is a great fighter. Really, really tricky. He's very tall. He's like 6'8", I think. Southpaw, good kickboxer. Been about a long time. In the kickboxing scene. So, and he's actually doing really, really well in Cage Warriors now as well. I think he's in a 4-fight tear. He moved up to light heavyweight, but really tricky opponent. And I had to, dig deep in that fight and show a wee bit of heart and a wee bit of fight IQ and change up the game plan mid-fight. So I was able to show some of my different the art style that I have, as far as like grappling and the wrestling and stuff. Like I can do more than just strike. So I was glad to show that on that fight. I guess somebody such a high caliber.
And actually, also in May, you were scheduled to fight against Francesco Mazzeo, and he was actually get a chance to fight in the Contender Series. So it means that he had I believe 5 fights, and he get a chance. So maybe this is like a chance for you that maybe 2 or 3 fights, and next year we can see you in the Contender Series.
Yeah, that'd be good, mate. That'd be good. Obviously the UFC's the goal, so the quicker I can get there, the better. But as I say, I'm happy enough. Whatever fights come, I'm just going to be ready. I plan to fight everybody. To be honest, I want to fight everybody, so it doesn't matter what comes first or whatever. But if I have to sit and clear out Cage Warriors, I will. If the shout comes a wee bit quicker to go Contender Series, I will. Do you know what I mean? I'll take any opportunity that I get in this game. But yeah, Mazio, yeah, I was offered twice to fight him. fell through. Lucky he got sick, I think. I didn't even get a chance to see him on the Contender Series, but I think he's at light heavyweight now anyway. So I'm not too sure if that fight will be on the cards again. But look, if he wants to bounce down the middleweight, I'd have no problem. No problem signing up for that one again. No problem at all.
And of course, you are undefeated as the pro, but I noticed something interesting as when you were fighting on the amateur scene, because you lost three first bouts, and then you actually started your winning streak, and it's like right now 8-fight winning streak, like amateur and pro. And what changed after the third loss that you started building such a like long winning streak?
It was the wrestling. Like I came from a boxing background. I boxed when I was younger and decided to start doing jiu-jitsu. And then obviously as a byproduct went into the MMA, but the wrestling, I took my first amateur MMA fight like 6 months after my first ever grappling experience. So I didn't know anything really. I thought I knew a wee bit, but like as far as what it takes to do an MMA fight, that was so raw. But I'm happy enough to do that. I don't really care what other people thought. You know, I wasn't fighting to win for other people. So I knew that even if I take a couple of losses on the way, it's better to learn on the job. And I think that stood by me. You know, so I had the striking element already. I just needed to work on the grappling. And I think throwing myself into them first couple of fights and taking them losses, but understanding that the losses are because of that reason that I couldn't wrestle. So it taught me what I needed to know, and I went back and worked on it. And now I think my wrestling was at a pretty good standard. So these losses are needed, I think, at the start.
And I think that like when you are an amateur fighter, it's a good time to lose a fights, because right now you are undefeated as the pro, and everybody like is seeing your record as the pro. So right now you are undefeated.
Yeah, of course.
And how many years of boxing experience did you have before going to MMA?
I started boxing when I was about 8 years of age, and boxed for a good few years until I got to about 14, 15, and then fell away from it. You know, as you get older, you start running around with different people and started drinking and, you know, all that crack that you do from when you're from Ireland. But got myself back on track again, and I was either going to go back to boxing, and then I was checking out this UFC stuff and decided to go the jiu-jitsu route, thank God, and it's the best decision I ever made, you know. So I knew I had to go back and do something, and I just thought I'll try something new. So I went down the jiu-jitsu route and ended up where I'm at now, which is great.
And when you were like 12 or 13, did you think about becoming pro boxer?
Yeah, of course. Actually, a relation of mine, Paul McCluskey, he's from the same town, obviously, Dungiven, and he was always, whenever I was a kid, he was somebody I looked up to a lot because he was a professional boxer and European champion, British champion, I seen him winning all these belts and, you know, all these big nights and stuff, and it really inspired me. You know, I knew I would be a fighter at some degree, whether it be boxing or MMA. I didn't even really know what MMA was at that time, but I knew that it was in me, and that's what I'm supposed to be doing. So he was a big inspiration for me, and you know, it's great to be able to give the people that given another excuse for a good night out and stuff to go watch fights. You know.
And about your grappling, probably because you had this experience in boxing, probably at first your grappling wasn't, let's say, great. And when you
No.
see the progress that you made, it's probably like really impressive. Like when you go from 0 to 100, let's say.
Yes, of course. I think that's the trick for people coming from different martial arts. Whenever they start jiu-jitsu and things like this, it's hard to start at the bottom again whenever you're coming from boxing and you know you're one of the top guys in the gym, and then you're going into MMA and you're getting or grappling and you're getting smashed by these small guys. But I think it's good. You know, it's good for the ego. It's good to humble yourself, and it was kind of like a challenge for me. You know, I wanted, because I was losing so much in the training sessions, and it was like You know, you could look at it either way. You could say, no, I don't like that, but I like to go lean into it a bit more whenever it's hard. The harder it is, the harder I'll push back. So it sort of suited me, if you know what I mean.
And if you can tell me about the gym that right now you are training in.
Yes, I train out of Fight Academy Ireland in Belfast. Um, Easily the best gym in the country, if not UK and Europe, to be honest. We've got Paul Hughes, Reece McKee, Scott Harvey, all these top guys like Matthew Elliott. You know, some of the best fighters in the UK and Europe, all in the one gym. And the coaches are unbelievable. Pat Chando, they're all on this game, and it's just great to be in that environment around a lot of winners. You know, it brings you on. Um, yeah, it's a great gym. Great gym.
And to be honest, I was actually quite surprised that Paul Hughes got a really big fight against AJ McKee. It was like a very big fight, and he was able to win. And I think that not many people believe that he's able to do it, because AJ McKee is like world championship level.
Yeah, but if you ask the people in the gym that have been watching him train for years and his mentality and things like this, I don't think they'd be too surprised. You know, Paul's always said this, and he's backed it up, which is lights a fire under all of us in the gym. You know, it shows us that believe in yourself, back yourself, and these amazing nights can happen. You know, um, so it's great to have somebody like that there leading from the front and showing us the way. You know.
And would you be interested to go to Bellator or PFL in next few fights, or would you prefer to wait a little bit longer for the like UFC opportunity?
Never say never. You know, the goal has always been UFC world champion. So, you know, it depends. It depends. You know, I can't say if PFL come along a couple of years and slap down a contract that, you know, it could be a wee bit hard to turn down. You know, but for me at the minute, the goal is UFC. I'm focused on that. Um, I'm focused on winning these next couple of fights in Cage Warriors and just set myself up the best way I can. And just look, I'm not looking too far ahead. I'm just concentrating on now, every day getting better. Whenever the next fight comes, take a guy out, and move on to the next. And God willing, we'll win the UFC in a couple of years.
And in the, let's say, maybe like dream fight scenario, do you have a middleweight from the UFC or any other organization that you would like to face? Of course, this fight may not happen, but just to think about it.
I would like to fight Sean Strickland. I think just a style up. He's like a bit of a puzzle. I like to work guys out, to be honest. There's a few guys there that would be good matchups. You know, there's a lot of guys in the UFC that I know that I would beat now. To be honest, that's not talking shit. That's just I do believe that, you know, there's levels to the UFC, and you know, if I get an opportunity now in the UFC, I think I would put boys away. Am I ready to jump on with Sean Strickland now? Probably not. You know, but you know, I've stuff to work on, and I'm young. I'm 27, and with the team I have now, it's just a matter of time. You know, there's no point in rushing. It's just, you know, we'll leave it up to God, and whatever He puts on, and it works, then happy enough. Let's go.
And about middleweight division, were you surprised that Khamzat Chimaev won in this kind of fashion?
Yeah, I think we. I don't know. I knew it was a beast, like, but to do that to Robert Whittaker's insane. To be honest, Rob's so good, and then to be washed away like that, he's a scary guy, like, isn't he? Because you know what he's going to do, and it's very hard to stop. So he's definitely a tricky puzzle to work out, I think.
And I think that of course it was a big win, but it's like it was kind of sad because Robert Whittaker is one of the good guys in the sport, so it was like a little bit sad to watch this like finish.
Yes, of course. It's hard to see anybody that you like, you know, especially getting injured like that. There, it was his jaw. I think his teeth get pushed back and stuff. But it just shows you the strength of his squeeze. You know, to do that to somebody's mouth with your squeeze, like it's mad. But nah, you're right. I like Rob as well. So it's not nice to see, but somebody has to win. You know.
Do you have a fighter that you really like to watch? So if you know that he will be fighting, you need to tune in and watch his fight.
I really like Tom Aspinall, to be honest. I like everything about Tom. I like his demeanor, the way he handles himself. He doesn't chat shit. He just gets on, does his job, does it very well. He's a great striker, great grappler, great all round. I do think he is the best martial artist in the world at the minute. You know, so great to look up to. You know, so I like Tom Aspinall. If I was going to pick a fighter, it'd be him.
And I think that this fight need to happen, like John Jones against Thomas Pinal, because probably all the fans in the world actually want to see this fight, not the other one.
Yes, I know, it is good, but at the same time, I really like John Jones as well. So it's like, do you really want? I would like him to win that CP fight and then just maybe retire on top, you know, and then let Tom have his time. And I think Tom will dominate for the rest the next maybe 5 6 years. To be honest, I don't see anybody touching him. He's just so different, and the way he moves, his power, his technique's all perfect. So I would like John to retire just on top, be the legend, the GOAT, and then Tom to come on and take up his time in, you know.
Yes, especially that I think that Tom can like dominate division for many years. At least at
Yes.
this point, it seems like this.
Yes, definitely. Although heavyweights, you never know. It only takes one, you know. So he needs to be on his game the whole time.
And outside of fighting, do you have any like additional like hobbies or passion, not including like training or anything like related to the sport?
Um, Barbering, mate. I just work. I'm a barber as a profession as well. I've got a barber shop here in my body. So just when I'm not training, I'm usually on here, cutting hair, and that's pretty much it. Chill with my friends and my family, and just relax, enjoy life.
It's quite cool. Do you also like are there the other fighters going to your like barber shop?
Yeah, well, sometimes you get guys on. It's actually a few of my teams actually took up training since we've been working together and stuff, which is cool. We get to train together, and it brings a good atmosphere to the shop and to the team. It's good to get everybody involved.
Okay, Jordan, so many thanks for the conversation. I think that your career so far it's like a very good one, and especially like taking into consideration also that you're like 5 last bouts as the amateur. So I hope that this winning streak will be even longer than it is now.
Thank you very much, mate. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.